Well, that could be better. What's up, riders? Old Man Ronin here. Welcome back to the channel. We're back in the shop today because we're going to do some basic maintenance on the Royal Enfield Himalayan. Something that each and every one of you should be doing to your motorcycles every 1,000 kilometers or 600 miles. Stay tuned. You know, I know this video isn't for everybody. A lot of folks, it's going to be redundant or something they already know. But for a lot of folks who are just buying motorcycles for the very first time, or they're not familiar with chain drive motorcycles, a lot of people who own, some of the modern bikes have either drive shafts or belt drives or things of that nature. What you're going to know is you have to do chain maintenance. They stretch, they get dirty, you need to lube them up, you need to clean them, and you need to adjust them. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So whether you're an old-time rider like myself or somebody brand new to the sport, let's get into basic chain maintenance, in particular on the Royal Enfield Himalayan. Tools needed for this operation are really simple. You need some kind of cleaning brush, a 24mm wrench, two 12mm wrenches, a measuring device, chain cleaner, chain lube, your owner's manual, and then for me personally, I like to do rubber gloves and paper towels for cleanup. I also like to put a piece of cardboard underneath the bike as well too, so that way I don't have any of that drippy stuff all over my cement floor in my shop. Well, we've got well over that 1,000 kilometers, 600 miles since the last service, and what we want to do is check for play in the chain before we do anything. And you can see we've got a little bit of sloppy going on there. So what we're going to do is we're going to check the measurement. Now, according to the manual, you should have 25 millimeters to 30 millimeters worth of play, and in American standards that is 3/4 to 1 inch of play, and you can see we've got quite a bit more than that. Let me put it behind, and well, it's probably the best way to do this right here. And you can see we're moving from almost 3 inches up to 1 inch, and that's 2 inches of play, which is way too much. I don't want to tear up my sprockets, and so I want to make sure I make a good adjustment, which we're going to check the sprockets as well too as we do this. But before we do any adjustment, we're going to clean and lubricate the chain. So what I like to do is I like to put down a piece of cardboard that's going to catch any of the drippies that's going to happen when you spray the cleaner solution on it. Now, if you notice there that I went from master link to master link, and we're going to let that solution sit on there for 5 minutes, and we'll be right back. Now it's been over 5 minutes, and I got this cool little brush kit that we're going to be using here on the chain, and we're going to stick it down here and kind of go back and forth a little bit, moving the tire as well too, and just kind of scrubbing back and forth, making sure that getting all the gook and yuck out of the chain. You can see there's the master link, and we're going to use that as a position here. So we're going to do this real quick, do a little time lapse, and we'll show you. Back to the master link. After I do that, I like to spray it one more time with the solution and then wipe it down. And we're back to the master link. I like to use paper towels and kind of get as much gook out of as I possibly can. keeping in mind that master link, which is right there. And you can see the difference between what we started with and what we ended up with. Now it's time for lubrication. This is also the time I like to look down at my sprocket and make sure that there's no undue wearing. Let's see if I can bring the camera in there and look at that. Let's see. You can see there, hopefully, the sprocket, and make sure there's no undue wear on it, and we're going to get ready to lube that as well too. And also the front sprocket, if you can see way up in there, you can kind of get a look at it. That's a harder one without taking the inspection cover off. I usually only take the inspection cover off every what do you call it, 5,000 kilometers, which would be 3,000 miles. Now we're going to start the lubing process, and right here's the master cylinder, and this is where we're going to start spraying our lubrication in on the chain. And like I say, I like to do it around a couple times. Make sure we get her good lubed up on all sides. It's one of the reasons why I put the cardboard down there as well too, to make sure that we've got all the juices collected, if you will. Now that we've got our chain all cleaned and lubed, it's time to adjust it. And you see we had what, almost 2 inches, not quite, of play. And what we're going to do is loosen this main axle nut. Just get her loose enough that she'll move around. You don't need to take it off. Just make sure she's good and loose. And I think that should do it right there. And then you're going to have to grab a couple 12mm wrenches, or spanners as they say. What I'm going to do here is loosen the outside one and make sure I back it off quite a bit. Don't need to take it completely off, and repeat on the other side. Now if you'll notice, we've got still quite a bit of that slack, you know, since we first did the measurement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wrench here and just do maybe like a 45-degree turn, and then go to the other side and do the exact same thing. And then I'll check my measurement. And I still need to go a little bit more, so we'll go another 45-degree turn. And check our measurement again. And we're right there, almost an inch. So I'm going to just go a little bit more. I want 3/4 of an inch, or 25mm. Another 45. And check it one more time. And we're right where I want it to be. So before I tighten everything up, I'm going to come to the back here and make sure that I've got really good, easy wheel movement. Looks like everything is doing exactly like it's supposed to do. And then I'm going to start checking one more time. Again, check twice. And we've got that 3/4 inch plate. Now I'm going to tighten the nuts up. Making sure you're holding the inside nut tight so it doesn't move. Give it a good tighten. Go to the other side. Make sure that you hold that inside nut tight and not moving, because you don't want to disrupt the measurements that you just did. Oops, let me get on it better. See if you can see it easier that way. Again, snug that lock nut down. And then it's time to go to your 24-inch millimeter and tighten your axle back down. That's good and tight. Got free play. Everything looks great. And now you're ready to go for a ride. After everything is tightened up and secured, the final thing I like to do before I go for a ride or put it up for the day is I like to go and wipe off all the surfaces that had any of that cleaner on and or the lube, extra lube. Because the extra lube's kind of sticky, and what it's going to do is collect dust and dirt. And I want to basically avoid having that all over the motorcycle if possible. And then again, the final spin, smooth as silk, baby. That's what we're looking for. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this video today. I know it wasn't for everybody, and I take a chance when I do videos like this if not to get a lot of views, but I think each and every one of you should be aware of how to do basic chain maintenance, because it's critically important for a fun and exciting ride, no matter where you're at. And if you're doing long distance trips, you need to check it every, you need to at least check your chain every 1,000 kilometers or 600 miles. You know, basic maintenance is critically important, no matter what kind of motorcycle you have. In fact, one of the very first videos I did on the channel was, it's kind of Harley-centric, but it applies to all motorcycle brands and any kind of drive system that you have. And it's called TCLOCS, and the video I made was called Take Time for TCLOCS. I put a little link at the top here, that way you can see what the thumbnail looks like. But TCLOCS stands for Tires, Controls, Lights, Oil, Chassis, and Stands. And if you check each one of those before at least once every couple weeks, I do it every time I go out, actually. I want to make sure that my tires got the right pressure, the controls are in good shape, and they, they feel right, like the brake pressure and the clutch pressure. I check my lights, make sure my turn signals are working, brake lights, headlight, high and low beam. Check the oil level, check the chassis, make sure nothing's loose, and of course, finally with the stands. And on the Royal Enfield Himalayan, you've got two. You got your side stand and your center stand. Making sure that's not loose or floppy around. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give us a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification button, share and comment. You know, I read all the comments and comment as many as I possibly can. Until next time, ride safe and keep her on two wheels, baby.